Welcome back to the channel, folks. It's IDXOX. This video is going to be an in-depth, over-explained follow-up to my last video that I just posted yesterday, 15 tips for the very early game. So what I want to do in this one is try a bunch of different popular origins, and I'm not sure how long I'm going to play them. I'll just play them until I feel like it's getting easy, okay? So instead of doing the tutorial, I'm going to do Southern Mercenaries so I don't have to fight Hoggart. And I'm just going to do Expert, Low. So we can try this one first because it's the simplest one. This is really the principles that I'm going to show you here. You can apply anytime you have a lot of starting crowns. All right, so let's see what we got for contracts here. All right, hunt down what terrorizes. It can be okay, or it can be challenging. It depends how many guys you have. Caravan missions, about 2 days. You got to figure it's probably 3 days away. That's a lot of early money, 750 crowns. But as I explained in the other video, I'd prefer not to do those if I could avoid them. In terms of these backgrounds, day tailors are just like completely average backgrounds. They don't have any special stats, but you know, they're cheap. Indebted, they have a higher upfront cost, but no daily wages. So looking at this guy is actually the best deal. Shepherds can get bonuses to certain stats. So we have a good amount of money here. Let's just hire, like, honestly, six guys is more than enough for me. Keep in mind, the more guys you have, the more equipment you need to buy. Looking at the equipment here, the biggest problem is just chess pieces. Like, we don't really have... There's no good deals here. This is a nice helmet for 321. That spear is a good price. This shield is a good price. So, that's the biggest problem here, I would say. Looks like there's a town to the west of us. So, this is, you know, a situation where you have a lot of options, obviously. You could just buy most of this armor here. We have enough money. And you could buy, like, maybe 2 of these spears, this, and a shield, and you would be fine. Okay, now, me personally, I wouldn't do that just because I'm just a stickler when it comes to money. So, like I said, I bought 3 cheap guys. I haven't even looked at them yet. I don't really want to do either of these contracts, and because I have money, I have the luxury where I don't have to do that. We also have the arena here, so we can take a look at that. 2 nomads is going to be 2 nomad outlaws, which is going to be a tough fight for day 1. Just looking at our guys here, looks like we have 1 shield. Normally I would rank the guys. I'm not going to do that here. So what I would do here is just head west. And before I do that, let me buy a couple of things that make sense to buy here. Like, we can grab one of these. Because keep in mind, we need 2 more hats. So we can get one of these. I like this spear for 169. Can get another one of these hats. This is a good shield. Can grab... Knives are good to have. Especially if you have the money for it. So these are my best 2 guys, so I would want to give them the shields. And you can see they also have the best helmets. Okay, so that's what we got for now. I don't really want to take fights right now. I want to just go west. You can see we're only paying out 67 crowns a day, so... I talked about in the other video, playing to your strengths. Okay, so that's a location we found there. Talked about in the other video, playing to your strengths. So the strength of this start would be just having a lot of money. That allows us to be selective early. Okay, we can look at the contracts. All right, that's a good one. Drive off nomads, 1 star. A lot of times, I don't cancel the caravan mission in case I really have to take it. You know, it's nice to have it there. All right, let's see if we have any better deals here. This is really what I'm looking for. Okay, so you can see right here, if you look at the durability of the armor, see how these are only at 50%? So we're getting good prices on these. That's really exactly what I'm looking for. Now, in terms of weapons, this spear is interesting. I never really used this, but it is pretty useful. I mean, for 400 crowns, I don't know about that, but let me see if we have enough weapons. Right now, we need really 1, but preferably 2 weapons. So probably what I would do here is grab this, and I don't think grabbing this spear is really that bad here. You can see it has more armor damage than, and overall higher damage than the other spear. So it's, you know, we didn't really pay that much more for it. Give our 2 best guys those spears. Can also give them the best armor. This guy's got a nice set of armor, 65. Normally I would rank the guys, like, see this guy has 8 melee defense. That's pretty good. So I would want to give him pretty good equipment here. Let's just do that. And we can give a knife to this guy, so if we have an opportunity to farm somebody, we can do that. So let's try and take that Nomads contract. Alright, so this is generally the one that I recommend doing. We need allies. It's not really great if you start in the south, but generally that's going to be the way to go. Some cutthroats. Okay. Before we do it, you know, it's a good habit just to check armor. You see, some of our armor is not repaired. See here? So, one of the things you can do if you have some tools is just camp for a minute until the tools elapse and then take the fight. Now, we didn't have enough tools to fully repair everything. Now, the way these fights work is the AI is programmed. If they don't have any ranged guys, they're going to come in aggressively. So because we have range superiority, I'm expecting them to come all the way in, which is exactly what they're doing. Now, there's different ways to try to take these fights, okay? What I try to do in the very early game is get surround bonuses. So that means you go up here, and then you wait. You move everybody up. And once everybody is surrounded, then you attack. Okay, I talked about that in the video. That gives you a higher chance to hit. The issue with that is it costs you initiative. So if you do that, your guys are not going to act first in the next round of combat. But realistically, they probably weren't going to act first anyways. So you know, you're probably not really giving up that much. Okay, we could actually use his ignite ability here. 40% chance to hit. Wow. So let's see. A regular attack is 77%. Ignite is, okay, 79. So it does more damage. And it does more armor damage. And it has a higher hit chance. You know, this really has nothing to do with this video. I'm just curious because I never use this item. It's actually pretty good. So, you know, we got more hits by doing that because we got the surround bonuses. But this is what I was saying. Now the enemies have the initiative. This guy hasn't gone yet. So if I hit him, I'm just trying to prevent my guys from getting hurt. But we did what we needed to do anyways. Generally, you know, when I'm taking these fights, I'm going kind of quick here. I'm looking at their morale. See, this guy's breaking, he's fleeing. Fleeing means he's not going to attack anymore, so you don't have to worry about him. It can still be useful killing a guy that's fleeing. Because if I kill him, these other guys are going to get their morale taken down as well, probably. This guy, you can see he has no body armor. If you look at the second bar from the top is black. So he has no body armor. So if I hit him in the body, it'll probably kill him. Pretty close. He's fleeing. This guy has no body armor. Now, I could move in with this guy, but that's a rookie mistake, because if I do that, this guy's going to be able to attack twice with that Nomad's mace, which is actually a pretty nice weapon. So see that? He had to come in, and then he rotated, which was a stupid decision, but you know, little decisions like that just save your guy's life. So at this point, we could try to farm these. Like, we have some knives here. So if you use the second ability, Puncture, see how this guy, both of their head wraps are untouched, and this guy too. Okay, so we probably just got his head wrap. Okay, we didn't actually get the head wrap. Sometimes you don't always get it. The more durability you have, the greater the chance that you're going to get it. Okay. We did get some armor for this guy. We got a couple extra shields. Now, I mentioned in the other video, I don't like two-handed weapons early because your guys are not accurate, so you can reduce your variance just by attacking twice every turn. Okay, so I'm going to give this guy a sword. That gives me an extra 10% chance to hit. Now, at this point, like, this was like, for what I usually play, this was like a really, really easy start. You know, we finished our first contract. We still have 600-something crowns. So I'm going to stop here because this isn't really that challenging. Let's try another one. Let's try Oathtakers. This is a very tough one. This will just give you a feel for the different parameters that you should be thinking about when you start different origins. So, you notice with Oathtakers, we're only starting off with 500, which is almost nothing, realistically. But, you know, we have nice gear. So that's kind of the trade-off. The problem is, even though we have nice gear, you can see our guys have almost no stamina, which is a problem. because basically they're not really good enough to use this gear right now. Now, generally when I level up people, I'm going to level up melee skill and melee defense. Okay, for most guys, for frontliners. So the only other decision I really have to make is, do I want to put them here? Sometimes I'll take range defense if it's negative. Generally, I don't take a lot of range defense. This guy doesn't have a lot of stamina, so giving him stamina is going to be useful. But it also kind of depends on what build I'd like to go for later. I'm not gonna level him right now. I want to see what we're getting in this town. All right, so this is just the Oathtakers stuff. I'm gonna do your men gain 15% less experience. You don't need to know that if you're not playing Oathtakers. It's like a special thing for them. All right, Gravediggers, a good background for 170. I'm not a fan of apprentices. Farmhands, a great background for 280. These guys are okay. Minstrels. You know, all these backgrounds have different strengths and disadvantages. Daytailor is just completely average, but he's cheap, so I might end up getting him. Let's just see what kind of gear we have here. Again, this is what I'm looking for here. 50% durability, roughly. That means you're getting it at a nice discount. This is a nice chest piece for 140. That's very good. Don't really have any great weapons here. That's the only problem. He has shields, but they're kind of expensive. So I would probably pull out a calculator at this point. 141 plus, maybe we could give him this buckler, 32. For a weapon, maybe we could get this mace. It's not really the best, but it's cheap. That would be 266. Let's see what we have for contracts here. Secure Forbidden Graveyard. Okay, that's potentially a good one. Follow the tracks. You're going to be fighting like 7 or 8 brigand thugs. So that's a tough one. All right, this is the one we want. Find Forbidden Graveyard. This is perfect because we don't even have to fight anything. Okay. So we can do that one. Because I'm going to have a little bit extra money, maybe I can hire 2 people. Maybe I can hire the Daytailor and, I don't know, maybe the farmhand or something. I definitely want to get this. Let's get the buckler. Okay, so this guy is not bad. So let's just go find Forbidden Graveyard right now, somewhere to the southeast. Okay, so that was quick. Now, we could actually look at Forbidden Graveyard to see what's there, because we have this contract to secure it for 350. But I think I would rather just try and take the fight. Okay. And what I'm thinking about doing is grabbing this guy who's a farmhand. So I have to run a little bit of math here. I have 280. We can get this thick tunic. Okay, and then we have a little bit of money for a hat. Maybe like something like this. For a weapon, maybe I have to get him the mace. I'm not sure yet. Let's grab him. Wow, he's got 8 melee defense. That's good for a farmhand. That's going to help us in the early game. So let's just try and get some simple armor now. I have to get him a helmet. Alright. We only really have enough money for this bludgeon. Now, in terms of the equipment, since we have 4 guys, that's actually reasonable. I can give some of this equipment to some of these other guys. We got to be a little careful doing that, though, because I don't want them to die. But this guy, when I had him in this armor, he only had 35 fatigue. So that's just too much for him. So let's see if we can maybe give him that. That's better. Now he's got 51. Now the farmhands generally have a lot of fatigue. See, this guy's got 105. That's not amazing for a farmhand. So let's give him... Let's give him that, and we can kind of tank with him. Oh, I didn't realize he came with a flail. We could have just used the flail. This guy's going to use the battle standard. This guy has a lot of armor, and he's got nice attack, so I can double grip this arming sword. That's going to give me 25% more damage. Guess. Alright, so now that I kind of know where we're at, I'll level this guy. Again, it depends on how you want to build them. You could take 4 in fatigue. It's a nice play. I'm kind of experimenting with Battleforge builds right now and dodge. So I would probably give him maybe this +5 here in resolve. You know, you don't get +5s very often. I like +4 in HP. That's nice. Now, in terms of perks, we had a kind of a fortuitous start because we had the secure old graveyard. Like, that was a pretty lucky break. He's got nice HP, so I like Colossus. That's going to give him an extra 25%. You can give him... Dodge can be good. Fortified Mind can be good. Adrenaline if you want to play more aggressive. Because we had a good start, I can be a little bit greedy here, probably. I can probably go student, okay? Let's just try and be a little bit greedy, just so you get a feel for that. All right, so let's take this contract. And we don't quite have enough tools to repair everything. Before you look at a camp, before you just attack a camp, sometimes you can see what's there. So, this one we can't. Now, because I've played this game so much, I know that it's probably brigand thugs. So, I'm gonna wait with my guys, and... Okay, it's not. It's... I guess I should have known that if I had actually read what it said. It said undead. When you fight these guys, you want to pay attention to how many of them have weapons. And how many of them have a lot of armor. So these guys don't really have a lot of weapons or armor. So it's kind of a great situation for us. So this should be an easy fight, basically. Now, this guy has a lot of armor, and he's got a nice axe. So we got to really be careful about him. Now, when you have a small company like this, you want to try to put your better guys on the edge because they're going to get surrounded by more enemies. So that's really what I'm doing here. I'm letting them come to us because our guys have more resolve. Oathtakers generally have more resolve. Plus, we have a battle standard. You can see this guy went, I think he was confident and went to steady. Now, in terms of attacking, I want to attack the guys that have the weapons. Okay, and I'm going to have this guy attack. This guy with the axe is by far the most dangerous. Actually, you know what? I wasn't even thinking. This is a really nice set of armor. We should try to farm that. And it's probably not too late to get it. So... So basically what I'm going to try to do here is kill all of these guys. Kill everyone except for this guy that has this nice set of armor. And hopefully our farmhand doesn't take too much damage. You know, our guys are pretty weak here, so like farming is a risky strategy. Just be aware of that. Like, see this guy. This guy took a lot of damage here. The battle standard is just really, really strong here. This guy's doing a nice job tanking because he has a heater shield, which is very strong in the early game. Alright, this guy is in a little bit of trouble here, so I'm just going to move out to try to protect him. Where are my knives? Don't I have knives? Okay. I thought I had knives. Did I not buy them? Or that was the other playthrough. I'm getting them mixed up here. There were knives. Some of the enemies had knives, so... See what I'm doing is I'm hovering over the bodies and I'm looking for the knife right now. I don't know if we're going to be able to get this because it all depends on where the knife is. Let's see if the knife is here. It's not. I'm going to let him attack and then move up here. See if we can grab that knife. I think the knife is here. So the knife didn't drop, so we're not going to be able to farm this guy. Which is, you know, it's a missed opportunity that hurts. See, no knife dropped. The drop percentage scales off of the durability of the item. So if the enemy is just attacking you over and over again, you're going to have a lower chance of getting the item. That was kind of unlucky that we didn't have a knife. I thought we had one. But, I mean, you know, we're already in pretty good shape here. So, I don't really feel like this is particularly challenging. Let's see if we can try another Oathtakers. One that's a little bit harder, where you don't have an easy contract like that. I just crossed 1,000 followers a couple days ago, so to all the people that followed, I just want to express my gratitude. A lot of people are really getting a lot out of the videos. You know, there's a core group of people that watch every video, so I'm happy that I've replaced TV for those people, or maybe maybe not completely replaced it, but let's do 15% less experience again. You know, I haven't watched TV for years because I never felt like. All right, so we're in the north here, so we're going to have to fight barbarians, so that's going to be trickier. About a day to the south. Okay, it's an option. Follow the tracks again is going to be probably 7 thugs. This is a really good pickup. 130 for a brawler. He's got a couple cheap beggars, so we kind of got lucky that there's a couple cheap guys here. But you can see they do have ambush trade routes, so we're not going to get good prices on stuff that we're buying. Actually, we got lucky that this stuff, the durability is low enough that we could probably grab these. Let me just try to think, because money is so tight here, if we got the 2 beggars, that would be 110. And they both come with, I think that's like a 20 armor he's wearing. This guy's got I think that's a 5 he has. So we could maybe get 1 set of armor plus 2 of those spears. That's like all of our money right there if we did that. This is what I was saying with. Well, you know what? I'm not going to do that because I want it to be harder on purpose. So I'm only going to buy 1 guy. Okay? This is going to give you a better example of what it's typically going to be like when you play Oathtakers or anything that doesn't have a lot of money. So we can give him a spear, a shield, and this 35, and that's all we got. Okay. Looking at these guys, this guy has no fatigue again. So if I give him that, this guy has a lot of fatigue, actually. We can maybe give him. Well, I forgot we had this shield. Yeah, you know what? I have to. This guy doesn't have a helmet, huh? So that was a mess up on my part. But, you know, this is kind of realistic. Like, you know, you could try to go to another town, but the problem is we're paying out 62 crowns a day. 62 divided by 500 is like 12, 13% of what we're doing here. I mean, our total wages. Now, I don't know if we can actually win this fight. Especially since we don't even have a hat. I mean, that was... I don't have enough money for a hat, so... The plan is going to be... Let's take a look at this fight. Few thralls, a few warhounds. Okay. So I just want to rest. Okay, I was just trying to fully repair our gear. I got to really try to protect this guy that doesn't have a helmet. This guy has a lot of armor, so we can kind of get a little bit aggressive with him. You know, I could shield wall with this guy. I guess he has enough stamina that I'll shield wall with him. I'm going to move in with him and try to attack this Thrall. Just kind of using his armor to tank, basically. Now, I don't really want to attack the dog. I'd rather attack these other guys. So, I'm going to wait here. Okay, that was great. Okay, so I have to attack the dog here. This guy, I could spear wall. Spear wall scales off of your melee skill. So he only has 51 melee skill. It's just not very good. So I'm just going to step back and then shield wall with him. If he wants to come in and attack him, he's got to go through the shield wall. So here I want to kill this guy to protect this guy. And I'm probably just going to try to stay back with him if I can. I can wait until this guy attacks and then try to go in maybe if I need to go in with him. I think I'm going to go in with him. Okay, so that worked out. So, you know, the hardest thing about the very, very early game is just winning that first fight. Okay. So the fact that we won that first fight, I guess I forgot to level this guy. I like the +4 here. I like the +5 here. I like the +4 here. This guy has a lot of starting initiatives, so maybe if I was doing like a dodge build, I could buff his initiative. At some point, I'm going to want to get rid of this -10. Let's do one here. A lot of times I'll take gifted. I'm experimenting right now with taking fortified mind. I mean, look at this guy. He's got 85 resolve like this early. It's crazy with the battle standard. I mean, that's a lot of tempo. Now, we made a lot of money there. So, again, I don't really feel like this is going to be particularly challenging right now. Okay, we could do that. Now I would want to do this. We have enough money. We could hire the beggars. But, you know, we're doing so well here that I might even hire somebody better. This isn't really a bad price. $218 for that is not bad. That knife is definitely a good purchase. So, what do we have for weapons here? Okay, we got another spear for him. So we have kind of a lot of what we need. We just need a couple of hats, really. Can buy... I'll just buy these two. So because I have some money, I would rather get the peddler than the beggars. Just because they can actually be good tanks. Like, see, he's got 12 melee defense. That's really, really good. This guy I would give the knife to. Now, at some point you want to rank your bros. Like, normally I would have already done that. This guy can be a nice frontliner. He's got 4 starting melee defense, 2 stars, so I want to protect him. So I'll give him some of the better gear. Give this guy the crappier gear. Like, this is a pretty strong company right out of the gate. So, I think I'll just take this fight, and then that'll be it for this. See, it's 7 thugs. If you play the early game, you'll start to learn what to expect from these missions, okay? Now, I could go in here. I could. I really want my guy with the battle standard to be able to attack. So, I'm just going to move him in right now. I'm going to get my surround bonuses. And then I'm going to move in and attack this guy with the battle standard. Okay, so let's kill him. Both of these guys are very dangerous. The axe and the spear. This is kind of dangerous moving him up here. But I think I'm going to do it anyways. Okay, this guy's wavering. We didn't get the resolve hit on this guy. That was what I was hoping for. This guy has a lot of armor, so I'm not that concerned with him right now. Alright, I want to kill the spear guy, definitely. This guy has less armor. But if I whack this guy in the head, I might kill him. I attacked him instead of him because the guy with the battle standard is going to attack him. Alright, he's done. I just figured we would kill him because he had no head armor and he had no chest plate either. Okay, this guy's fleeing. He's breaking. Maybe we can... Okay. Yeah, well, that was a risk. I was hoping if we got next to him, he would flee. He only had a 40% chance to hit that one. Chase this guy down here. Now, we could have tried to farm that 55, actually, now that I'm thinking of it. Because we do have... I just screwed that up. So, I'm not going to be able to get him now because I screwed that up. So, I probably shouldn't have lost that guy. That was a little sloppy. But, I mean, you know, we're basically fine. We've got a decent amount of money. So, I'm going to stop here. Let's try maybe one more. See if I can do something a little bit different. Like, Northern Raiders is a good one. Let's take a look at this quickly. So some of these are tricky because you start off and enemies are hostile to you, like more than normal. You have noble houses that are hunting you down. Like if you do deserters or you do Northern Raiders. See how this establishment is hostile to us? So we need to get out of Dodge. So traveling by road is risky. Okay, we're not going to be able to take any locations, so I'm not even going to look at them. Okay, we found the road. That was kind of lucky. See, they're hostile to us. You know, you should be going slower than me. You really should be going slower in case in case there's a hostile army that wants to attack you. See, like right here? This is a mercenary company hired by the noble house. And these brigands want to hunt us too. So I'm going to have to be very careful here. Let's see where these guys came from. They probably came from a town. So, like I said, generally speaking, this is going to be the ambition you want. Okay, so here's the road. See this thing over here, the runes? That tells you that there's a town near. Okay, follow the tracks. Okay, so you can see this one, we have 4 guys. So follow the tracks, and we also have more money. We have almost 700 crowns. So if we can just get some kind of a weapon for our monk, maybe a couple of shields, we should be able to take that follow the tracks pretty easily. Our guys, we don't have any shields at all, so I'd like to see if we could get some shields. Let's just see how much money we have. It'd be nice if I could get this war fork. This is probably a better buy early. You know, I said in the video, like, you don't want pole arms generally early. This is a little bit of an exception because we have 4 guys, which is decent, and this guy doesn't have any equipment. He doesn't have any good armor, so giving him a pole arm just allows him to do something. Let's grab these. I'm just going to level these guys quickly here. I'm just barreling through this right now. You know, normally I would give this significantly more thought. All right, good enough. You know, resolve is important in the early game. All right, gifted here. Okay, 51 is nice. Okay, give him a little bit more. Man, these guys get a lot of levels. Another one. All right, good enough. We got 329. Could get him a cheap hat in case somebody tries to attack him. Just give everybody shields. Oh, wow. I forgot. We also have this. So we actually have a lot of starting money in this one. So we could hire more people, but I think I can win this fight just with 4 people. I'm just going to end the round because I know that they can't actually get all the way in because of this terrain. So it just kind of, it preserves our initiative by doing that. And I'm going to let them come to us because we have armor here. Oh, we have a dog too. Let's use the dog. All right. So we can take the high. Yeah, I'm gonna take the high ground with him. Next turn, he can attack. Dogs are very strong, really throughout the whole game, but especially in the early game. See this guy with this pickaxe? He can do a lot of armor damage. So I'm going to try to kill him. This guy's fleeing, so we don't have to worry about him. He's fleeing too. So, you see what I mean? The fight's almost over already. Alright. I don't like guys with spears. Because they got 20% chance to hit. So, this really was not a hard start at all. I mean, I forgot that they start you with all this silverware. I mean, I think we had like 700 crowns to start, plus all this silverware. I mean, that's like a lot of money to start. So that was not really as hard as I thought it was going to be. Kind of makes me want to do one more. Let's see if we can do Lone Wolf here. Everybody's the fan favorite. Let's just see if we can get going in this one. This is probably going to be the hardest one. All right. 61, 3 stars, 8, 2 stars. A lot of stars in fatigue. This guy's very, very strong. Again, it depends how you want to build people. Fatigue can actually be nice here. Just because you can use the AoE attack of the sword more frequently. I'm going to start off by giving him Colossus, Fortified Mind, and what else do we want to do? Adrenaline is a possibility. Gifted is a possibility. Dodge is a possibility. I don't know that it's very good here, though. Let me see how much fatigue he has. 55. He doesn't really have enough initiative. Dodge is not going to do a lot for us right now. Because this guy is so good, I would probably want to give him stamina here. That way later on in the campaign, he can, like, swing a hammer AoE or something. I think a little bit more resolve. 70 seems like a lot, but... you know, we're going to get swarmed by a lot of people early. We got one more perk here. Let's try to get a little greedy. It'll make it a little bit harder. Just give him student. Now, we only have 650 crowns, so This is the only guy we can even hire. Tailors are... They kind of suck. They're worse than day tailors. But this is a nice set of armor for $4.92. You don't see something that nice. Usually that cheap this early. Now, we don't have enough money to get it for him. Honestly, the dog is a strong possibility here. Looking at this, I'm saying... Now, keep in mind, with this origin, you're not paying wages. So if you want to go to different towns and see if they have better deals or better recruits, you know, you can absolutely do that. I'm not going to do that here, just in the interest of keeping this video going, I guess. So we got this tailor. He sucks. But if he's going to be in the company, we need him to do something. Let's get a dog. Let me just see how much money we have. If we get a dog, and if we get this armor, this 155, that'll give us 146. We can get him a spear. Just a spear, nothing else. But then he wouldn't have a hat. Maybe we could get him this armor instead. So if we get this, and then we get him this armor, now we have 249. We can get him a spear and some kind of a helmet and maybe even a buckler. All right, let's give him the dog. Now, do we have enough tools to repair everything? Yes. All right, so we just have to find a contract, basically. Okay, we found a stone keep, so that was kind of unlucky. All right, is this another keep? Yeah. See if the road continues this way. No, it doesn't. All right, so I'm going to see if we can cut across this way. You know, we're in a little bit of trouble right now. Well, we're paying out 6 crowns a day. So we only have 4 days, really, to find something. All right. Well, we found a city, so that was really what we're looking for. Okay, that's a good one. Okay, that's actually a good one, too. Follow the tracks is going to be tough. The safest bet is really this one, I think. You know, follow the tracks fighting like 7 versus 2. That's tough. So with the caravan mission, let's see if there's any cheap recruits here. No. They really have nothing here that we're interested in. I was just saying, with the caravan mission, there's some percentage of the time where you don't have any fights. I don't know, maybe 30, 40% of the time you do a caravan mission, there's no fights. All right, so this is a great example of a fight we're just not going to be able to win. I talked about this in the video, your discernment. But because we're close to this watchtower... Okay. So, I'm not even going to look at the fight. We have no chance of winning this. So, we have to go back at this point. Now, if you wanted to try to cheese a little bit, you could try to fight those raiders. If you kind of bring them close to the watchtower, this will spawn an army, and then you can try to fight them. I'm not going to do that here. I'm just trying to play the game straight up. So we have to try one of those other ones now. Okay, this is a great one. This is an easy one. Okay. You know, it would have been nice if we could have kept the high ground, but these guys have more action points than we do. So, you see how they can come all the way in from that far away? So, we're going to have to drop the dog immediately here, because we need all the help we can get. Okay, that was a big kill. That was a big kill. Just going to try to get our formation back here. Unfortunately, this guy has high ground, so he's going to kill our dog. When you're trapped in the web, you can see you do 50% less damage, so... It's hard to kill these guys if you're in the web. I want to try to kill... Ah, that was a big miss. That was a 78% miss. You can see this guy, he's got the flag, he's confident, he's harder to hit. Another miss, okay. This is where you just die sometimes if your guys just miss. Like, I'm trying to take the web off, and I'm not getting lucky. I'm not having any luck taking the web off. Alright, we finally kill somebody. I'm just kind of using this guy to take the web off. It's not working, unfortunately. I need to attack with this guy. See if he can maybe kill this guy. That was a good kill. Alright, so the most important thing is we won the fight. I mean, we lost the dog, which is unfortunate. But at least we won the fight. We got a little bit of money. So we're not completely dead here. And that was really pretty unlucky that we rolled 78 twice and missed both times. I mean, you figure 22% times 22%. That's only going to happen less than 5% of the time. You're going to miss both of those. Now, we don't have really that much money. I think this one would probably be a better one to try. We also don't have any tools. They don't even have anything for us to hire, really. I don't think we can afford tools. No, we can't afford tools. Well, we could sell these things. That gives us 342. Again, we could go look in other towns. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to try to play it. Nice set of armor for 155. Although we don't have any way of repairing it. So it's not really going to help us much. Let me buy some tools, and if I sell that, I have enough money to pay wages. I mean, at this point, we're pretty desperate. Like, we have 4 crowns. And really, we haven't done anything wrong. We've kind of gotten unlucky. This is one of the things about the early game. It's just unforgiving, especially on a background like this. This guy is almost dead. Like, I probably should have rested just so he didn't die. Because he's almost dead, I think we have to try to use this terrain a little bit. Because he's not really going to be able to help us much. I can maybe have him try to spear wall back here just so he doesn't get killed instantly. He's probably going to die. Okay, I didn't even get a chance to spear wall. Okay, that was good. He hit 2 people there. I need these guys to come in here. Alright, I mean, they're giving me an opportunity for AoE. I feel like I have to take it. Wow, didn't hit anything. 56%, 0 for 3. So, you know, this is the RNG element of the game. 56%. So you figure 44% times 3. That's only going to happen 8.5% of the time. We have to kill this guy. Let's wait. Let's see if... Okay, he didn't kill him. Damn it. Alright, now we're in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble now. You know, we're getting screwed over by RNG here. I don't think we're going to win. Fight's really gotten away from us at this point. What is this guy's chance to hit? 66. He can't hit anything. Alright, so this fight's over. So anyways, hopefully this video helped. Okay, we got very, very unlucky in a lot of situations here, but that happens sometimes, you know. Most people that you see stream the game, you're not going to win every time you start. Like, you know, you might have to play the game 3 or 4 times just to get to day 10. But let me know if you have any questions. If you like this kind of content, like I said, I'll do more of it. Just leave a comment for me. Thanks again.